transporting millions of large cows requires special livestock transport vehicles, such as large trucks with adequate ventilation, water supply, and comfortable compartments. It is vital to work with veterinary specialists to ensure the animal's well-being during transit.
From Andy is that she's a healthy girl and she does look good. She has an
Adherence to animal welfare laws and the use of advanced monitoring techniques can improve transportation safety and effectiveness.
Shipment of Australian live cattle has landed in Zhengzhou.
Join us as we journey on how to transport millions of huge cows, modern farm export technology.
A clean trailer is essential to prevent the spread of disease.
Planning ahead of time is essential to transporting cows. To minimize injury, ensure that there is adequate ventilation, enough room, and secure enclosures. Plan routes with water and rest stops, and follow animal transport laws. In addition, plan for favorable weather conditions to avoid extremes and have emergency vet services. There are several important preparation steps involved in transporting cows. First and foremost, the cows are subjected to health checks to ensure that they are fit to travel. This involves examining their overall health, looking for signs of disease, and ensuring that they meet the appropriate health requirements for export. Next, export documentation is prepared.
The Department of Agriculture confirmed the livestock were discharged from the vessel in Perth.
To comply with the laws of the destination country, you must obtain the necessary licenses and certificates, such as health certificates. These forms ensure that the cows meet the required requirements for export and help ensure a smooth transportation process. To ensure the animal's safety and compliance with international trade laws, exporting cows is usually done by following specific rules and documentation. These documents can include obtaining health certificates to ensure that the cows are free of viruses and suitable for export is critical. Additionally, it is necessary to obtain the required permits for import and export from both the exporting and importing countries. Records of identification are also another important document, providing detailed reports of each cow, including ear tags or other identification devices. A transportation record is essential to include a description of the transportation method, such as a truck or ship, as well as schedules and routes. Quarantine records of the animals should be kept before export to document any required quarantine periods. Customs declarations. For both the exporting and the importing countries, complete customs forms and reports are available. Cattle passports. Some states may require passports with information about each cow.
It is unclear whether the livestock would be processed in Western Australia, but the Department of Agriculture
Ensure compliance with local and international laws and consult with veterinary and agriculture authorities for specific requirements. To reduce animal stress, provide a comfortable environment, ensure a proper diet, encourage socialization as necessary. Follow established routines and treat them respectfully. They also need a clean living space and regular veterinary checks.
We will go out periodically and count the numbers of flies on those animals.
To minimize the animal's pain during transport, certain precautions are taken. This means providing correct ventilation and airflow within the transport vehicles, ensuring adequate space for the cows to move comfortably, and minimizing noise and sudden movements that could enrage them. Throughout the journey, passengers are given regular breaks and have access to water and food. Cows' transport can be carried out safely and humanely by following these instructions. To ensure their well-being, cows require careful acclimatization and attention until they reach their destination. Quarantine and health checks are two of the main steps in preventing disease spread. Address any health problems as soon as possible.
Must be fit for purpose, the correct design. There must be specially designed cattle crates.
Providing a balanced and appropriate diet that is adapted to the cow's nutritional needs. To avoid digestive issues, gradually introduce them to any changes in diet. Also, ensure that you have clean, comfortable accommodations. Protect them from extreme weather and provide adequate ventilation. There must be an adequate water supply to keep the cows hydrated and ensure a clean and plentiful water supply. To minimize contamination, you should regularly check the quality of the water. Monitoring and observation to keep an eye on the cows to look for any abnormalities. illnesses, or behavioral changes. Early detection is critical to successful intervention. Veterinary services are created to establish a working relationship with a local veterinarian for routine checkups and immediate attention in the event of health problems.
You look after it, and cattle welfare is the first priority.
Cows should be allowed to adjust to their new environment and herd mates gradually, minimizing stress and encouraging social integration. Exercise should be carried out to improve physical fitness, reduce stiffness, and encourage regular stretching. You must have ample space for exercise. To protect the cow's health, implement a tactical parasite prevention program. Record keeping for efficient management and future reference. Keep accurate reports of vaccinations, therapies, and health history. By following these guidelines, cows will have a smooth transition to their new environment and will be encouraged to achieve their overall health. However, after revealing the preparation steps for transporting cows, let's dive into the logistics of transporting cows by road. What are the measures to be taken to ensure safety when transporting cows by road? There are several critical aspects to consider when transporting cows by road. Livestock trucks are specially made to transport cows. To keep the cows separated and safe on the journey, these trucks have partitions and compartments. The cows are carefully loaded and unloaded to ensure their safety and minimize stress. Proper ventilation, ample space, and safety equipment must be maintained when transporting cows by road. To minimize injury, use well-ventilated trailers with non-slip flooring, secure gates, and partitions. Plan routes with minimal travel time, take frequent breaks for rest and feeding, and consider weather conditions. Ensure that you are compliant with all transportation laws, including health certificates and permits. During the journey, check on the animals regularly to ensure their health.
Must be fit for purpose, the correct design. There must be the specially designed cattle crate.
Livestock trucks, also known as cattle trucks or livestock trailers, are designed to ensure the safety and well-being of the animals being transported. Therefore, the truck designs for transporting livestock are stated as follows. Slatted flooring to allow ventilation and waste removal. Ramps and loading gates facilitate the quick loading and unloading of animals. Dividers and gates are needed to reduce overcrowding and injuries, separate individual animals, and also ensuring proper ventilation during transportation. Rubber padding reduces the chance of injury during transit, so it has to be established. Additionally, consideration of height and size is crucial, as transportation designs must accommodate different animal sizes. Prevention of animals from sliding during transportation. Eradication of accidental openings, which are of two types. Ensuring the design allows easy monitoring and inspection of the animals. These features are intended to provide a safe and stress-free environment for livestock during transportation. Since laws and requirements may change, designs often adhere to specific guidelines to ensure animal welfare. Cows are usually loaded and unloaded from transport vehicles by ramps and chutes. They may be hesitant or anxious during the process, so it is best to guide them gently. To reduce stress and ensure the safety of both the animals and the handlers, handlers use appropriate techniques such as low-stress livestock handling. The loading and unloading areas should be designed to allow for smooth movement and avoid injuries. Professional handlers and equipment, such as hydraulic lifts, can also be aided in the process. The cows are primarily escorted onto the truck by ramps or loading chutes. It's important to treat them with caution and avoid any rough movements that could cause injury or distress. The procedure is reversed during loading, making sure the cows are kept in a safe and controlled environment. Various steps are taken to ensure that you are safe and comfortable on the journey. To maintain a safe temperature and air quality, the livestock trucks are properly ventilated. To minimize accidents or injuries, the trucks are made with non-slip flooring. In addition, the drivers follow specific directions and drive cautiously to avoid bumps and sudden movements that could disturb the cows. The logistics of transporting cows by road require careful planning, the right equipment, and a concentration on the animal's safety and well-being. Having reviewed the logistics of transporting cows by road, let's look into transportation by air and rail. What are the vital methods of rail and air transport? Let's look at the less common but vital methods of rail and air transport for cows. These techniques are particularly useful for long-distance travel or when road access is poor. Although rail transportation for cows is not common, special cattle trains with comfortable pens and feeding facilities can be used to ensure the animal's well-being on long journeys. For shorter distances, dedicated cattle cars can be used in regular freight trains, placing emphasis on proper ventilation and safety requirements. Due to logistical and animal welfare challenges, air transport for cows is not widespread. However, cows can be transported by specially designed cargo planes with climate-controlled containers if required. To ensure the comfort and safety of the animals, meticulous planning would be required, which would include adequate ventilation, space, and supervision by trained handlers throughout the journey. To ensure the safety of the transported animals, it is vital to follow strict guidelines. One of the unique challenges when it comes to rail transportation is ensuring the safety and comfort of the cows throughout the journey. Specially designed cattle wagons are used, which provide adequate ventilation, space, and stability. The wagons have features such as adjustable partitions and flooring to accommodate different sizes of cows. To reduce stress and injury, the cows are also loaded and unloaded using ramps or special equipment. The requirements for rail transportation are similar to those for road transportation, with exceptions for trains, rest periods, and times for feeding and watering. Rail transport has the disadvantage of requiring repeated handling of animals, namely at the start and end of the journey, the loading and unloading of road transport. Conditions for rail transport of animals, including the handling involved, are considered to be worse in many parts of the world. By providing adequate space, ensuring proper ventilation, and using specially sized containers suited to cattle, transporting them by rail can be simplified. In addition, providing adequate bedding and minimizing noise and vibration can ease the animal's stress during the journey. Regular health checks by veterinarians and compliance with legal requirements are essential to the overall health of the cows during rail transportation. For a smooth and humane transportation experience, it is vital that efficient logistical planning, including loading and unloading procedures, be carried out. Now on to air travel. Flying cows may seem a bit odd, but it's a practical way to transport them over long distances or to remote locations. The cows are usually loaded into specially designed containers within the aircraft's cargo hold. To ensure the safety of the cows during the flight, these containers are equipped with ventilation systems and a comfortable floor. Transporting cows by air involves challenges such as limited space for large animals, ensuring their safety and well-being throughout the journey, and addressing potential stress or injury caused by turbulence or handling. In addition, logistical planning, as well as regulatory requirements, are critical in the air transport of livestock. To solve problems with transporting cows by air, designers should create specialized containers with adequate ventilation and enough space for each animal. The importance of following strict handling guidelines and minimizing exposure to turbulent situations such as turbulence can reduce the chance of injury or stress-related problems. Proper health evaluations and compliance with laws are guaranteed by collaboration with veterinary specialists. For safe and efficient transportation, detailed logistics planning is vital, which includes pre-flight quarantine and smooth ground handling. Cows that are transported over long distances or to remote locations are subjected to stress, dehydration, and ventilation problems. Well-ventilated transport vehicles, regular stops for rest and hydration, and proper loading and unloading facilities are among the solutions. Airlifting or using special off-road vehicles are among the options for areas that are difficult to reach by road.
Cattle, we'll haul sheep and goats if it pays good enough.
But they require careful planning to minimize the animal's suffering. In addition, it is vital to ensure that animal welfare laws are followed. Overcrowding of animals in transport is a problem that can result in a lot of pain. Overcrowding increases the chance of trampling, discourages animals from lying down, and increases the chance of heat stress, injury, and death. The transporter must comply with the minimum cargo requirements. Animals are unable to use the drinking devices in the first place. This could be because the drinking units are located on one side only of the vehicle. So many of the animals are unable to reach them if the truck is overcrowded or because there are not enough watering stations. The water tanks are often empty, the drinking tanks are turned off, the drinking tanks are soiled, or they are inefficient and fail to function. In some cases, the water devices are not appropriate for the species being transported. Adult cattle can't place their mouth around them or press the nipple properly to get enough water for their needs, and sometimes the nipples are too high for lambs to reach. Throughout the journey, it is important to maintain the correct temperature and air quality. Both rail and air transportation methods require careful planning, adherence to laws, and collaboration between all parties involved. During these unique transportation methods, the aim is always to prioritize the health, well-being, and comfort of the cows. What are the specifics of transporting cows by other means, like the sea? Let's set sail and learn about the fundamentals of transporting cows by sea. When it comes to sea voyages, livestock ships are used to transport cows across bodies of water. These ships are specially constructed to accommodate the needs of the cows on the journey. On board, there are facilities for feeding and caring for the cows. These include feeding troughs, water troughs, and storage areas for feed and water. Cows must be transported by sea due to space constraints, exhaustion, and motion-induced stress. Solutions include well-designed livestock carriers with proper ventilation systems, enough room for each animal, and anti-sway technologies to minimize movement pain. Livestock ships have multi-level decks with pens to house animals. They include ventilation systems, feeding and watering facilities, as well as waste management systems. In addition, these ships have strict design requirements in place to ensure the safety of animals during transit, such as anti-slip flooring and proper lighting. The design and construction of livestock ships are crucial to ensuring that safety is achieved and that the country's laws are followed. During the journey, you must have adequate food, water, and veterinary services. The welfare of the animals is guaranteed by compliance with international laws, such as those of the World Organization for Animal Health requirements during sea transport.
In carrying Australian sheep and cattle to our export markets in Asia and the Middle East.
Any issues can be addressed quickly with regular monitoring and experienced staff on board. Feeding troughs, water supply systems, and comfortable resting areas are typical onboard facilities for feeding and caring for cows. For their safety during transit, proper ventilation and temperature control are also vital. To ensure that their nutritional needs are met during the journey, the cows are provided with a balanced diet. It's important to maintain a consistent feeding schedule and monitor the cow's well-being throughout the journey. During long sea voyages, sanitation and hygiene are of vital importance. Livestock ships have veterinary facilities and personnel to monitor the cow's well-being.
The plant here is capable of producing 600,000 litres of fresh water a day.
Regular health checks are performed and any necessary surgical interventions are administered. In addition, the ships are equipped with the right ventilation equipment to maintain healthy air quality and minimize the chance of respiratory problems. Sanitation is also a top priority. To handle the cow's waste products, the livestock ships have waste management systems in place. To maintain a safe and sanitary environment for the cows, regular cleaning and disinfection are carried out. During long sea voyages, maintaining health and sanitation is vital. To prevent illnesses, you need clean water, proper waste disposal, and regular cleaning. For a healthy maritime environment, it's also important to monitor food quality, promote good sanitation practices, and have medical supplies on board. Transporting cows by sea requires careful planning, adhering to laws, and a concentration on the animal's welfare. It's important to provide them with a smooth and safe ride. After revealing the logistics of transporting cows by sea, post-transport care should also be observed. What are the procedures and care required once the cows reach their destination? Once the cows reach their destination, there are specific steps and precautions to ensure their well-being. First and foremost, acclimatization to the new environment is vital. Cows need time to adapt to the climate, temperature, and conditions. They may be housed in a designated area where they will gradually get used to their new home. This helps to reduce stress and allows them to work more effectively. To ensure their well-being, cows require careful acclimatization and attention until they reach their destination. Quarantine and health checks are two of the main steps in preventing disease spread. Address any health problems as soon as possible. Nutrition and feeding are important to provide a balanced and appropriate diet that is adapted to the cow's nutritional needs. To avoid digestive issues, gradually introduce them to any changes in diet. Shelter and warmth to ensure that you have clean, comfortable accommodation. Protect them from extreme weather and provide adequate ventilation. There must be an adequate water supply. To keep the cows hydrated, ensure a clean and plentiful water supply. To minimize contamination, you should regularly check the quality of the water. Monitoring and observation to keep an eye on the cows to look for any abnormalities, illnesses, or behavioral changes. Early detection is critical to successful intervention. Establish a working relationship with a local veterinarian for routine checkups and immediate attention in the event of health problems. Socialization of the animals is important in order to allow cows to adjust to their new environment and herd mates gradually, minimizing stress and encouraging social integration. Animals should be exercised to improve physical fitness, reduce stiffness, and encourage regular stretching. You must have ample space for exercise. To protect the cow's health, implement a tactical parasite prevention program. Record keeping of the animals is to be done for efficient management and future reference. Keep accurate reports of vaccinations, therapies, and health histories. By following these guidelines, cows will have a smooth transition to their new environment and will be encouraged to achieve their overall health. Health monitoring is another essential step. The cows will be closely monitored by veterinarians or animal care specialists to ensure they are healthy and free of disease or stress. To detect and address any potential health problems, regular checkups and assessments are performed. In some cases, quarantine procedures may be required. This is done to reduce the spread of diseases and ensure the safety of both the cows and other animals in the area. After a cow's destination, quarantine measures usually involve isolating them to discourage the development of diseases. For a specific time frame, health checks, vaccinations, and monitoring are included. To ensure the safety of the animals and avert illness in the new environment, the animals must be provided with adequate facilities, biosecurity policies, and veterinary supervision. Quarantine periods vary according to local laws and the nature of the journey. In general, post-transport care focuses on facilitating a smooth transition for the cows and ensuring their safety and well-being. It's important to give them the attention and care they need to thrive in their new environment.